Hello, hello, hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. This is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 121 people in 10 different countries. And it is the April 2026 triplet set, the first healing of the month, first healing of the triplet set. And with me, I have a temporary co-host, Felix, our older kitten. I will give him his moment, and then I don't know how long he'll be hanging out with me because I move around a lot. All right. So, to talk about the theme for this month, which is one I've been looking forward to. Okay. So, it's like a wish list right there. Self-discipline, focus, time management, and productivity. Just all good things right there. So that's what we're working in the 2 sets of group energy healings this month. And I can't wait. I'm just so excited. What to say about it? I mean, life is so much better with these things. And it's a continuum, obviously, with everything. So you can always have more self-discipline, more focus, more time management, more productivity. So it's a great thing to work. And I do want to say, just to be clear, oh, thank you for my confirmations. I do appreciate that. I do want to be clear that, I mean, it's probably clear for people that have been watching my stuff for a while that I'm not an expert in anything that I teach. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a teacher. It doesn't mean I'm like a deity or a god, right? So I'm always growing. I have flaws. I have weaknesses, right? And so I need work on this stuff too. So I just want that to be clear because sometimes I feel like, when I'm teaching this stuff, maybe that doesn't come through, and then I don't want to make people feel like, oh, she has it all together and I don't, because that's not the case. Everyone's a work in progress. So let's learn and grow. Woohoo! Okay. So that said, how are we going to work on these things today? Oh, and of course, self-discipline. Some people, I used to have a negative bunch of thoughts about that word discipline, mostly because I associated it with like external, like punishment. Not what I mean by this word, which is self-motivation, to be able to see what is truly beneficial to you and work towards it, even if it's difficult and feels crappy sometimes, that you still can work out motivating yourself, and not perfectly, but maybe you don't have motivation for a while, but then you work to get it back. Like, it's not this perfect thing where you either have it or you don't, and you're either a rock star or a failure, that you can kind of have a good mentality about it, and use a corny catchphrase, turn that frown upside down, back into a little bit of motivation. It's so corny. But anyway, so that's what I mean by self-discipline. And it's so valuable. And I never knew that growing up because I didn't really have my own goals growing up. I was raised with a very top-down level of style of parenting where, my goals were given to me. They were not chosen by me. To the point where, like, the instrument I played was not chosen by me. The fact that I played an instrument was not chosen by me. You know, my clothing was not chosen by me. You know, it was really not a lot of choice or decisions or, you know, free will encouraged in any way, like even in small things. So, and you know, maybe that's true for some of you as well. And certainly you've had past lives like that if you weren't raised that way in this life. So hopefully during these healings in this month, we can get more and more of that negative baggage out of the way so that you can enjoy more the power of self-discipline and the freedom in it, that you choose your goals, you choose what's important to you, you get to reflect upon what's in your best interests, you know, and kind of weigh the pros and cons of something, and you know, to not have it be like a drag, you know. So that's a big part of the goal, is all in that one word, self-discipline. Focus, time management, and productivity is, you know, kind of the fleshing out, I would say, of self-discipline. But they're beautiful things all by themselves as well. So anyway, I'm excited. So let's get on to today, how we're going to work some of this stuff. So first, I'll just explain the easiest part to explain, which is we're going to unblock Serenity Rivers, which we worked. I think I introduced it for the first time in the last healing of the last set. So March 2026 twin set, 2 of 2. And they're cool. And I did see that it helped people a lot. It's one of those things where it's a very, I mean, serenity, as you would imagine, it's more of a subtle thing, but I saw that it kind of uplifted people and helped people be more present and help people make decisions, and it just kind of like a supportive hug for yourself from the universe. It's really nice. So they're in the front. They go into this region like between the shoulder joint and the neck and the collarbone and I think, how did I describe it then? Oh, the armpit. That's right. The armpit and the neck and the shoulder joint. Shoulder, neck, and armpit. But it's like this whole region. So on either side. And so basically how you would do it is you just unblock this area and then it just naturally kind of happens. It's this nice river of gold light from the universe of serenity energy that comes in the more you unblock here. And it, like I said, it's just soothing and balancing. It's really very nice. And the technical stuff is it nourishes a lot of meridians right here, but we're not going to get into the details about which meridians and all that. We'll just unblock the gold rivers and then the gold light goes where it needs to go and you don't have to think about it. Although in the last healing, I did go into a little bit of detail about which points here. There are like certain meridian points that are even in traditional Chinese medicine, they kind of like the words of them have heaven in the title, the name of it, you know, in Chinese, some of them. So I think there is some, you know, complement within Chinese medicine. I don't think they have like a Serenity River concept, but I think, you know, knowing that these points, if they're healthy and happy, you know, nourish your mind, is a thing within traditional Chinese medicine. And I am not a traditional Chinese medicine expert. I'm just a psychic reader who can hear angels and do energy healing and teach about it. But anyway, but we'll unblock Serenity Rivers and it's nice. And, you know, some people, very few people only do triplet sets, but some people do, like particularly the manual purchase people. A lot of times they, will choose triplets. Some people choose twin sets. Some people choose triplets. So since that was a major technique and it was introduced within the twin set, that's another reason why I want to do it today. So the triplet set people get it. But I think too, even for the bulk of people who do all the healings because they have a subscription, it's just nice to unblock again, to unblock more so that you get more of that nice serenity energy nourishing your mind and helping you be more present and all that good stuff. So that's that. Okay, so that's sort of the quick way to describe it. We're going to clear giving up baggage. And it's like there's a part of everyone that's more self-assertive. Like it's as if, like, say you're a ship, and sometimes I think I talk about it like that, like you're a ship traveling in the water, and which direction are you traveling? And are you traveling in the ideal direction for you, for your growth, whatever? So this sort of self-assertive, self-directing part of you is kind of like the part of you that drives your ship. And sometimes that, or you could think of it as like the action-taking part of you, the part of you that's ready and willing to take action. And sometimes that part of you is, not working so well. So I lost my kitten co-host. So sometimes, I think often it's just depending on to how much extent that take charge, ship directing, take action part of you can give up and just lack motivation, because of baggage that gets triggered. Baggage that gets dumped in your space, damage in your energy field, and so you're overwhelmed by external energies, all sorts of reasons. Maybe too much is going on, events that you haven't fully processed yet, so you're kind of like in this brain freeze. So for whatever reason, you can have baggage in your space causing this ship directing, action taking part of you to just be like, no. To just like opt out, and tune out sometimes, or numb out, or just like go blank, like a TV that's just static. Nobody's home. So it doesn't mean that you're fully checked out. It just means you have no motivation, or no drive. You're not being like, okay, now I'm doing this, and then you do it. You're just like, you're more in that being state and not in that acting state. So it's not that the being state, sometimes there's good times for that. And obviously it's a balance between being and taking action and resting, But if the part of you that takes charge and drives the ship and takes action is well, then those parts can be in balance. But if that part of you is like asleep, then all you have is the other parts, like just sort of observing and resting, and there's not the action part. You don't kick into gear at any point. Or it takes a lot more for you to kick into gear and take action than is ideal, right? So we're gonna just target the specific baggage that's causing this ship driving, take action part of you to opt out of its job. So it won't be a forcing thing, it'll be a helping thing. Like whatever will unburden that part of you so that part of you is like, oh yeah, I want to do all this. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, So, and it does line up with spring. Spring tends to have like a seasonal boost along those lines as well. So I think, you know, that'll be helpful to do this type of healing work at the same time. Might be, I think it'll be extra beneficial rather than just, you know, waiting for spring to kind of sweep you up and help you with your motivation. Because if it doesn't happen, then that's kind of a bummer, because you're like, it's spring and I still don't feel like doing anything. You know, so I think if we specifically work it, then we'll just sort of help you to take best advantage of that natural wave of like, you know, spring cleaning kind of idea, you know, taking action kind of thing. And so you'll be like, yeah, and just ride it as far as you can. So that's that. But it should be very simple to do. Took much longer to explain as usual. Okay. So this next part is going to be a sort of a larger part of what we do in the second half of the healing. It'll be 3 parts, mostly working the 7th chakra and the 7th chakra rivers, the energy that flows from the bottom of the auras. From the bottom of the 7th layer upward all the way up to the bottom of the 7th chakra. That's the 7th chakra river that goes through your body. As the 7th chakra pulls that energy back up into the chakra. And then the upper 7th chakra river is, you know, above the head as the 7th chakra shoots your 7th chakra energy up to the top of your 7th layer. And then it, you know, fountains down all through your 7th layer all the way to the bottom again. And then it comes back up, right? So we'll work the 7th chakra and the 7th chakra rivers, basically unblocking them, to help you have faith and intention that can help you to move forward. Like sometimes you don't know how you're going to move forward. You just know you're going to, and you're like, I will, you know, so it's sort of like you will it. You have this intention, you have an intuition, you have faith. Because if it's too blocked, then you don't really believe that you can move forward. And then you're sort of, you know, down for the count. If you believe it's impossible, then it's game over already, you know, whereas if you have a sense that it is possible for you personally, you know, to move forward, and you kind of hang on to that and nourish that and ride that, that in and of itself is extremely powerful. I mean, you could have your energy pretty messed up and just be like, okay, I am moving forward. I'm going to move forward, you know, and I'm going to let my angels help me move forward, you know. And so then you can move forward even if you know, your vision's blocked and your hearing of your angels is blocked, all sorts of things are blocked. You know, you have a bunch of resentments in your 4th, whatever, you know, but the 7th, that faith, having that intention, you know, I'm going to move forward. I know this. I can do this. You know, that kind of idea of like intention, faith, belief, that kind of idea. Believe in yourself, you know, that. So we'll work the 7th chakra and the 7th chakras, astral and physical, and then the 7th layers and 7th chakra rivers, astral and physical, to help with that faith and intention that could help you move forward. And then we'll do 6th chakra stuff, 6th chakra behind the forehead, 3rd eye, right? It helps with non-judgment and vision. And vision can be, you know, being able to see your energy consciously, which everybody has the potential to do that. But typically it doesn't just pop on automatically. You know, it's like the more you get present, the more you unblock, the more likely you are to start seeing, you know, if like one of your chakras is damaged or your grounding's blocked or whatever, and be able to, you know, then work on it. You can do all the techniques that I teach without vision, but it is more validating when some vision starts to open up. And it's probably for the best that people's vision opens up gradually, because I have seen some people who their vision opens up like pretty drastically before they're ready for it. And then they just get freaked out at what they see because they're not present enough to fix everything that they see. And so then it's just like this weird dystopia that they're aware of all this stuff that they're not ready to handle, you know? So I know a lot of people are kind of bummed that their vision doesn't like just pop on full blasts all of a sudden, you know, but you know, you can just have the intention that I want to be able to see my energy, you know, at a pace that is, you know, most beneficial for me, you know, and you can hang on to that as a goal, you know, so that over time your vision does open up at a rate that is, you know, optimal for you and your growth and your wellness. But anyway, so to help that along, we'll unblock the 6th chakra and the 6th chakra river coming from the 6th layer into the 6th chakra, and the back 6th chakra river coming from the back of the 6th chakra to the back of the 6th layer. And then, you know, it wraps around the 6th layer all the way around, the way up to the front of the 6th chakra, 6th layer. And then that, so front 6th chakra river, back 6th chakra river, and 6th layer, and 6th chakra. So we'll work that both physical and astral, to help you with vision. Because what I didn't say yet, I was talking about conscious vision, right? But subconscious vision is very important. And that, you know, tends to improve first before conscious vision. And if you have subconscious vision, you can kind of, it works. You can see the path forward, you know, it helps your thinking. You're like, oh yeah, you know, and you're like, you sort of see the way to do something, you know, and it's not necessarily like you see it as a painting and it's all this amazing Technicolor movie quality thing that you see in front of you. It's just kind of like, it's just this quick subconscious thing. So subconscious vision is really nice and valuable, and that's, you know, what we can improve first, you know, by unblocking and all that. So that's why we're working the 6th chakra and 6th layer and 6th chakra rivers, and then 5th chakra in the throat, right, helps so much, you know, communication with other people, communication with animals, communication with yourself, communication with your angels, on conscious and subconscious levels, of all of the above, you know, communicate with angels, with tree spirits, with, you know, your, I don't know, your neighbor, your delightful sister. So we can unblock that more, you know, 5th chakra, 5th layer, 5th chakra river in the front and the back, 5th chakra rivers, so that, you know, once you unblock it more and more and more, then you have more control over, you know, peace of mind. And you're not sort of like jam-packed with old communications and communications that you don't really want to hear. A lot of times in the surveys, the post-healing surveys, I call that sound boundaries. Someone in their survey, they said that they kept hearing these songs over and over, and it sounded like they didn't want to hear them. And they said they repaired their telepathic mesh, which is a gold mesh in front of the 5th layer. And I think, the mesh can be repaired, but you can have cords. People can cord it. So, there's bashing through it, but then there's just putting a cord into it, which is more subtle, and that's enough to pipe some kind of song or an old argument into your mind. So uncording, but if things are unblocked, then it's harder for people to cord and, talk at you while you're trying to just have some peace of mind or you're trying to hear your angels. And of course, hearing angels, just like with vision, just like with, 7th chakra stuff, the subconscious hearing of angels is really priceless as well. And that tends to turn on much sooner. So that would mean like maybe your angels suggest something really healthy and smart and you hear it as your own thought and you don't really realize it's the angels, but you consider it, so that's important too. So anyway, we'll work 7th, 6th, and 5th. I don't know if we'll do them in order like that. It might be more fun to just bounce around and go back and forth. So we'll see how we do that, but that's the idea. And that's it. That's what we'll do today. Which, is enough. Good. So I'm going to take a look at pre-healing chat comments. Oh, and if you could give this live stream a thumbs up, if you wish. And if you're watching later as a video, if you could give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, it does help. Here's my thumbs up for you. You're amazing. Woohoo! All right. So we can see and hear you in Chicago, 66 and cloudy. 66. That's nice, actually. That's quite nice for early April. We can see and hear you. Thank you. Hi, Janet, joining from cloudy DC, Washington, DC, the capital of the U.S. Hello, hello. Someone says, I can attest to that. I had to go through a few I don't know what that word means. Go through a few something, guarding it. Well, it seems like you were agreeing with something I was saying. Maybe you were talking about the motivation? But not sure. But thank you for your comment and welcome to the live stream. If you want, you could retype it so I understand. But otherwise, thanks for the comment and glad you're joining in. Someone says, I had to do a crab dance with Hassan video on the second high official government firing. Oh, God. I did not realize how fun it is to dance before the healing. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. I used to do political asides and I don't now on the live stream. Not that I don't have political views anymore. I just decided to not go there during the streams. But if So I am a progressive Democrat in the United States. And so some people, everyone has different political views or they don't have political views. They don't want to, whatever. That's your thing. And but if you did want to get a quick email from me about a certain candidate that's running for office running for federal office to represent Michigan, I like this candidate for certain reasons, and I would explain it in the email if you were interested. I don't know many clients that live in Michigan, but I mean, obviously you could help a candidate even if you don't live there because, they're running for federal office and it could help all of us, potentially in the world, really, at this point. So if you wanted to, you know, a little blurb that I would just copy and paste into an email, it wouldn't take me more than 5 seconds to send you. Just email me and I would send it out. I mean, if you email like a year from now, I won't know what you're talking about. But if you email, you know, in the next bunch of days, I would know what you're talking. But they're from Michigan, but you don't have to remember that part, you know, just say political email, please, you know, or something if you email me, and I'll send it. Janet at jwhealing.com. And it's just a one-time thing. I don't want to get into like a lot of back and forth with people, particularly if you have differing political views than I do. You know, it's just, it could get in the way of like healer client stuff, and that would be a shame. So I wouldn't want to, you know, get into any political argument. So that's that. Okay. Doing quite well. Let's see. Oh, I should set a timer, shouldn't I? Yes, let me do that. Okay. So let's see. I guess I'll do quick. So quick sales mention before we get going with the healing. That's my website, jwhealing.com, similar to the YouTube channel name. And if you did want to purchase a set of healings, you're welcome to, even if I've never worked with you before. It's not like a closed little clique of people at all. I always set aside a ton of spots just for people who want to dabble and do one set now, one set later, or just one set and that's it, or, you know, whatever. Even though, like I said, there is a majority of people that do have subscriptions, and you're welcome to purchase a subscription too if you wish, to do all the sets. But anyway, that's all on my website, jwhealing.com. So there will be another set of healings, 2 healings, later this month that will be on the same awesome theme of, you know, self-discipline, focus, time management, and productivity. And then next month will be a whole different theme on social interactions and improving social interactions in May. So, but anyway, those sets are for sale on my website, jwhealing.com, and anyone's welcome to purchase for yourself, or, you know, for like, say if, you know, your brother really needs help with his social interactions, you could buy him. That's one of the sets for next month, you know, and just put his name and who he is to you in the comment section. If I say hi to them on a spirit level and they say yes, they would like the healing, then that's enough for me, you know. So even if your brother consciously would, you know, sort of poo-poo healings, you know, if on a spirit level, because I figure the subconscious part of all of us is pretty massive and significant, and so if when I explain it to him on a spirit level, the pros and cons of the benefits, and he asks his angels, you know, and then he says yeah, you know, then that's enough. If he says no, then obviously, you know, I would refund your money, or, you know, I could heal you, or, you know, your best friend or something. All right, that's that. Enough on that. So let's get going. I'll do 3 minutes of quiet. It's 3-ish minutes of quiet. Sometimes it's less. Just to finalize my prep and say hello to all the people that I'll be healing. Oh, you know what? Let's see, before we do that, the country count. Okay, so who I'm healing today in this live stream and in the next 2 live streams, the one on Sunday and the one next Wednesday, is people who purchased this set of healings in advance on my website. And so those 121 people, I have general statistics on them, which is, I think is fun, but, you know, if you don't care, it just takes a minute, so bear with me. But the 121 people are in 10 different countries. And That includes 98 people in the US, 4 in Qatar, 4 in Canada, 3 in the UK, 3 in the United Arab Emirates, 3 in Ukraine, 2 in Bermuda, 2 in South Korea, 1 in Germany, and 1 in Japan. So hello, hello, hello to everyone that I'll be healing. I'm very, very grateful to have the opportunity to work with you. And of course, to anyone watching live, you know, many people watch live that also I'll be healing, but there are people too that watch live that did not purchase the healing for whatever reason. They didn't want to, or they couldn't afford it at the moment. And you guys are welcome to just watch and learn and heal yourself as you watch. Okay. Okay, thank you for waiting. So what we'll do now is we'll do grounding, and then we will so we'll create grounding and unblock it, and then we'll unblock the area of your auras right in front of here. So that will allow your Serenity Rivers to open up and flow so that you can receive gold serenity energy from the universe, which is uplifting for your mind and centering. Okay, let's do it. So you can get rid of your old groundings and create new ones. You can test out your groundings, make big, wide grounding as wide as all your auras. Make them red at first, all the way down to the core of the earth and all the way up to your third chakra below your sternum right there. So that's about your third chakra. So bring up your grounding that high all the way around. And just test out red grounding, see how it is for you. And then change your grounding to orange, see how it is for you with orange grounding. You release more or less that way. And then try yellow grounding, see how that is for you. And you could actually unblock your grounding each color for each color, but I like to, you know, if you're just want to do something quick, just pick the one that already works the best for your grounding color. So go back to red or orange or yellow for both your groundings, whichever works best. Both groundings, because your astral body aura and your astral body has its own grounding, your astral body grounding, and then your physical body and your physical body aura has its own grounding. You have 2 groundings. All right. So then just make an image of your groundings out in front of you and use gold light from your hands, right? Just with your intention, set your hand chakras to be a metallic gold color and your fingertips, fingertip chakras to be a metallic gold. So that as they spin, they're generating gold light. And then you unblock energy centers in one hand with the gold light from the other hand. So the more they're unblocked, the easier it is for them to make lots of energy for you. Right? And then you take that gold light and you use it to melt away the blocks in your groundings. You have a copy out in front of you of your everything. All your auras, your physical body, your astral body are inside them, inside your auras, and then both your groundings. Wash lots of gold light through. I talk a lot about unblocking, but I don't always talk about strengthening. Like you can strengthen areas in your auras that are chronically weak, that often get damaged. You just use extra gold light to nourish those areas. Unblocking does make the aura stronger because flow is strength. But beyond just having flow and being unblocked, you can go a step further and just keep nourishing that area. And it can make it even stronger. So just comb through everywhere, especially areas that tend to be more chronically damaged. Like, for example, if you tend to have back of head pressure, then nourish extra and strengthen extra your auras behind the back of your head. And unblock the back of your grounding. So you just imagine the blocks in your grounding and you saturate them with so much gold light that they melt. And then indie grounding is where you use gold light and you run it through the outer surface of both your groundings and melt away any attachments from other people going into your groundings. And sometimes you'll have like some blocks in your grounding that are just extra stubborn, and it's most likely because other people are cording into them. Also, maybe there could be some invasive energies kind of clogging up the flow around those blocks, so they never clear. So just find the most stubborn blocks in your grounding and just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive energies that are connected to these blocks? Deep breath while your angels do that, and then just melt away cords from people going into these blocks with cold light. And then now the blocks should be melting more easily. And that's how you can have breakthroughs, even just a simple, more thorough than usual grounding and blocking can help you to really, because it's a chain reaction. Then with those blocks gone, now certain parts of your aura get to drain out better, which means then there's less pressure working against your chakras, so they work better. So it's like this whole chain reaction. And so at some point, 4 hours later, you're like, oh, I could do it this way. And it's all because you unblocked your grounding 4 hours ago. So anyway, go again, search in your grounding, find a stubborn bunch of chunks that have been there for a while. Angels, can you recycle any invasive energies that are hooked into these blocks? Keep running gold light through them. And then melt cords from people going into these blocks. Melt your own resistance, avoidance, and denial out of these blocks. And just keep using gold light to melt the blocks fully. Or once you've gotten everybody else out, you can just blow them up too. That's kind of fun. Alrighty. Okay, so that's grounding. So now let's do the unblock Serenity Rivers part. And so like I said, it's a natural flow that comes in this way. Gold light from the universe, serenity energy. And so if you just unblock this whole route, then the river happens. So you can imagine a copy of yourself out in front of you, kind of like that, and just unblock this whole area. And you could have a lot of kind of like hardened, kind of like dry mud, stuck in all these energy centers and meridians here. So you want to just melt all that away. Melt all the blocks there away. Melt the blocks out here in front. So whether you want to do it this way or you want to just have a copy out in front of you, either way works. Imagine the blocks and melt them with gold light. And just like we did in the grounding, there can be blocks that are more stubborn. Maybe they've been there for a while. So you might have some right around here that are like that are just, you know, maybe in this area, because this is the receiving area for the Serenity energy, Serenity Rivers energy. So you can imagine that area, you know, in a copy out in front of you, and any more stubborn blocks, you can imagine them looking like, you know, stone or hard mud or something. And say, angels, can you recycle any invasive energies hooked into these blocks? Take a deep breath while your angels do that. And then you can use just so much gold light and melt cords from people going into these blocks. Yeah, just keep melting these blocks. And take a deep breath. Feel how that feels here. So breathe into your lungs, but also breathe into this area, your shoulders, your neck, your clavicle area, armpits, right? You got some important meridians around your armpits. Unblock more the Serenity River area. And again, imagine some older blocks in your Serenity Rivers that have been there for a long time that are healthy and gentle to clear. And just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive energies hooked into these blocks? Take a deep breath. And then use lots of gold light, melt cords from people going into these blocks. Yeah, just keep using gold light till the blocks melt. Feel how that feels. Just keep breathing. Breathe into your body. Breathe into this Serenity River region right here. All right, good enough. So, and you can always do more of that later. You know, you just want to do however much is healthy and gentle to do at a given time. And then, but you can certainly work more on it later. And if you feel like, oh, I'm not going to have the motivation to work on it consciously later, just say, angels, if I need this, can we work on it more, you know, subconsciously. All right. Good job. Good job. Good job. Woo! Yay. Woohoo! Good job. All right. So there are 5 essentials that I like to do in the start of all these healings. Grounding is the first one, and then there's creative rings, which are above here, and then there's chakra repair, and then there's aura repair, and then there's all the back of the head stuff. So I'll do the creative rings and the chakra repair and the aura repair just all in one little section of the video. So do that now. So for creative rings, and for all this stuff, it's repairing and unblocking. Okay, So your auras, you have a lot of them. You have 17 auras. There's the astral body aura, the physical body aura, and then you have 15 called Wei Chi auras, which the angels explained to me. And Wei Chi is your energy of strong boundaries, protection against external forces that might, you know, be imbalancing for you. So let's repair any rips that you may have in your auras. Right? So imagine all your auras out in front of you, and first you can just do a manual check and look for rips. It can look like, you know, a whole quarter of your aura is just gone, or it can look like more like a deep gash. And so you can just find some of them, and you could repair one area at a time if you want, but we're going to repair all the rips at once. But it's just good to be able to check. Do I have aura damage? You can check intuitively. You can check with your hands feeling. You can check visually. But even if you don't know and you think, well, I might have rips somewhere in some of these auras, you can do aura repair like we're going to do. So it's composite copy technique. So you make a copy, you make an image of a rip, and you say, okay, well, this rip represents all the rips that I have in my 17 auras. And as I repair this rip, I'm repairing all those, right? So you imagine your composite copy rip, and you say, okay, well, this represents all the rips I have. And then you want to clean it out first with sticky gold wax from your hands. So sticky gold wax is gold light that sticks to everything that's not you and forms a lump. So then it's easy to get rid of all the junk at once. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax. Get rid of all that junk at once. Angels, here you go. So what is the junk? It could be hard objects that people threw at you, which made the rip in the first place. Or it could be just invasive energies that have been attracted to the leaking of energy because you have rips, and rips leak out energy. Or it could just be like your nosy neighbor, like waltzing into your space. So anyway, sticky gold wax, make a big lump of all the invasive energy, lift it out. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, lift out all that junk, including the hard objects. Angels, here you go. So now it's cleaned out enough. You can get really good contact with the ripped part. So use gold light. And that'll start everything growing back. And try to sort of saturate around the rip so that for the Wei Chi auras, the gold mesh spheres regrow as well. Gold mesh spheres are 1, 2, 3 of gold mesh spheres within each Wei Chi aura. And so if you get a rip, you can rip through those mesh spheres that generate gold light. So as you repair the rip, you just use extra gold to get those gold mesh spheres repaired too. So, as you're using gold light to repair those areas and have it all grow back, you can use extra gold light to strengthen these areas, right? Because I was talking about that in the grounding section, where we can just use extra gold light to strengthen. So not just repair, but then go one step beyond that and just keep nourishing with gold light with the intention that you want these areas to be stronger. So more flow, more volume of your energy there will make it stronger. Right. So then we'll do it again quickly for any leftover rips that you may have. You may have 1 or 2 rips that are still there. So you make a new composite copy and you say, okay, well, this represents any leftover rips. And sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. Get the gold light nice and deep in there. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you recycle them? And when I repair my own rips, and I'm not, doing a massive group healing, I say that a lot. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are in the way of this repair? And then extra gold light to strengthen, extra gold light to repair the gold mesh spheres. All right, deep breath. Okay. So creative rings are above your astral body head. They come and go with you as a spirit. So 1, 2, 3. So you can make a copy out in front of you of your creative rings and use a lot of gold light and melt away everything that's not you. You can have energy blocks in above all of them or below all of them. Above your creative rings or below your creative rings. So use gold light, melt them away. You can have cords going into your creative rings, which irritates the rings and makes the flaps stick out. Your creative rings have flaps. Also, your chakra round openings have flaps. And basically, if the flaps are stuck open, that's irritation. That means it's irritated. So this is an image, like a top-down view of your creative rings if the flaps are stuck open because they're irritated. Because you have cords going in, sending energy that's not yours. Right? So you just melt the cords so that the flaps can relax and fall shut. Keep melting cords. And you can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my creative rings, can you recycle them? Because they could also be jammed into these little locations, these little flap areas. Keep using gold light till the flaps fall shut. You could sticky gold wax your creative rings. We could do your 7th chakras too while we're at it. Well, we can do 7, 6, and 5 because we're going to work those a lot today. So we may as well start working them now. So you have your creative rings, a copy of your creative rings out in front of you, and then chakras 7, 6, and 5, right? So 7th chakra is oriented this way, like, round opening at the top, round opening in the bottom there. And then 6 and 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1 are oriented this way. Like this way, with round opening in the front and round opening in the back. So creative rings, 7th chakras, 6 and 5, and just sticky gold wax all that stuff. Sticky gold wax around all of it. Have it stick to everything that's healthy and gentle to get rid of. That's not you. And then just move out the wax with the junk. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Gold wax, your creative rings, and your 7th chakras, 6th chakras, and 5th chakras. Have it stick to everything that's not you. So cords, devices, energy blocks, invasive beings, invasive people. Just have the sticky gold wax stick to all that. Lift it all out. Angels, here you go. And check those creative ring flaps that they have relaxed and fallen shut. If not, they might be open in like certain spots. Extra cool. Extra unblocking with 5th chakra, 6th chakra, and 7th chakras. In front of you. Couple deep breaths. All right, so chakra repair, you can repair all your chakras at once. You have a lot of chakras because you have 7 physical bodies, 7 astral body chakras. Those are your major chakras along your spine, right? So 2 sets of 7, but then you have all the minor chakras, which are a ton of them. All your acupuncture points, those are chakras. You have chakras around all your joints, and lots of chakras. So you don't have to know each and every one. Just imagine them, repair them all at once and unblock them all at once to the extent that's healthy and gentle to do right now. So that's just your intention, healthy and gentle, and then you just go for it. So this is a basic chakra shape, right? Round open cylinder, equally open on both ends to facilitate flow. And so you have a copy out in front of you of a chakra and just say, okay, well, with your intention, this represents all my chakras, major and minor of my body and spirit. So as I repair this, I'm repairing and unblocking all my chakras, right? And so just lots of gold light, melt cords from people. You could say angels if there are any invasive beings messing with my chakras. Can you recycle them? And if I were doing this myself, I would probably say that a few times as I keep. And you can imagine any clogs in the middle of the chakra, melt those away with gold light. Any clogs around the round openings, saturate the energy blocks with so much gold light that they melt away. And again, you have flaps around the round opening, and so you want those to fall shut so that your energy can flow in and out of the chakra, but it's harder for people to sink a pair of cords into the chakra if you don't have flaps sticking out like that. So just use lots of gold light so that the flaps fall shut. Melt cords from people. Again, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into these chakras, can you recycle them? And why do you ask multiple times? Why can't your angels just do it all the first time? Damn it. It's because you can't handle it. Basically. It's like, because as they recycle a whole bunch, then you get more present and then more baggage of yours triggers. And so you have to, be ready. Then you just keep centering yourself and then you can ask again. Like there's some Jack Nicholson quote from some movie saying, "You can't handle the truth." So yeah, they don't recycle all beings at once in your space because you couldn't handle it. It'd be too much. And just melt the cords, let the flaps relax and fall shut. You can also just lift out the baggage that's healthy and gentle to get rid of and melt it like that. You can lift it out and melt everybody away from the baggage and just blow up the baggage if you want. Whatever amuses you. Melt it in place or lift it out. And melt it. Take some deep breaths, center yourself. Have your healthy beverage. You can check too your chakra alignment of your major chakras. Because if you get chakra damage, it's like there was some blast or something that caused the chakra to be damaged. And that same blast can misalign your chakras. Or even just cords from people can, throw your major chakras out of alignment. So it's kind of like a zigzaggy row. And so you just imagine your 7th chakras and get them, you run so much gold light that they kind of click to right where they should be. And then do the same with the 6 chakras. Run so much gold light through them that they click where they should be, right under the 7th. Same thing with the 5th. And if you can't see which ones are out of alignment, then just use a really wide band of gold light up and down your spine area from the base of your spine to just above your head so that when in doubt, you'll be running it through all those major chakras, even if some are out of alignment, and then they'll be able to pop back into alignment because of the gold light. And sometimes the lower chakras need a little extra love. And we can go back to chakra repair and unblocking, with the composite copy again. Maybe it's a little easier now that the chakras are in alignment. Lift out the baggage, melt it away. And we can work our theme this way, since we have a composite copy here of all our chakras. Lift out any baggage in the way of your focus, time management, productivity, and self-discipline. Lift out that baggage. And you can say, angels, if there's any invasive energies hooked into these blocks, can you recycle them? And melt cords from people. And then melt the blocks. Deep breath. So again, with a composite copy chakra that represents all your major and minor chakras, lift out any baggage in the way of the themes that are healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. Lift out that baggage. So the focus baggage, productivity baggage, time management baggage, and self-discipline baggage. Just use so much gold light. Say, angels, if there's any invasive energies hooked into this stuff, can you recycle them? Any cords from people, go ahead and melt those. And just keep melting this baggage. All right, good. Good job, good job. Woo! Now, let's do back of head stuff. That's the final of the 5 essentials. So back of head would mean base of skull points, acupuncture points, as well as good karma windows, which I abbreviate as GKW. Good karma windows. So they're back here in your astral body aura. So let's do base of skull points. So that's the cute little diagram of them. And so I did not make this image. I borrowed it from somebody's video. I am grateful to that person. But anyway, so the 2 rows of points, horizontal rows, one at the level of the top of the earlobe, one at the level of the bottom of the earlobe. Those are the points I'm calling the base of skull points. So just use lots of gold light. Each one of these points represented by a dot on the diagram is a chakra. And so it's like a little tiny version of this, right? And so those chakras just fit right in the meridian to keep the energy flowing within the meridian. And, you know, to help you in specific ways that are cool that we don't have to go into right now. But just use gold light and repair and unblock each of these little chakras. And you might want to, you know, imagine giant versions of them, you know, even this big if you want, you know, make sure they're unblocked if that's easier for you. And you can imagine the meridian like a red flowy tube. Well, that's what ideally it would be. It could be, you know, blackened or white because of invasive energy or damage. So you can just use so much gold light. You can bring up red earth energy and soak these base of skull points with red earth energy straight from the core of the earth. Red earth energy, soak your base of skull. And you can comb outward through the base of skull points. You can have invasive energies that are kind of like halfway plugging up these points. So you can just say, angels, if there's any invasive energies hooked into these base of skull points, can you recycle them? And you can have energy blocks in these areas that allow invasive energies like your nosy neighbor and or your bossy sibling and or some invasive being to kind of hook in through the blocks and then hook into these energy centers. So you want to melt all the blocks away and get your angels to recycle those invasive energies. So just imagine any energy blocks back here that are healthy and gentle to melt away, and say, angels, can you recycle any invasive energies hooked into these blocks? Breath, and then melt cords from people going into these blocks. And again, we're talking about this whole area right here. So you're melting people's energy out, melting the cords from people, and then you can melt the blocks, or you can blow them up. Breaths. And again, if you have any invasive energies kind of like half in and half out of these areas, that can feel quite odd. So you can just have your angels get them out fully. So angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are like half in and half out of my base of skull area? And you can have some invasive energies that like wait out, further out in your auras or literally out of your space, but they're just temporarily waiting. And then once you get more blocked and more stressed and more avoidant, they like hop back in. So it's kind of fun to spot those invasive energies and have your angels recycle them. Because they're kind of like watching, from afar. So any invasive beings that just popped out of your space, but they're watching and waiting. Say, angels, can you recycle any of those invasive beings? And just take some deep breaths while your angels do that. So then good karma windows, which I abbreviate as GKW, they're back here in your astral body aura, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each of these windows looks like a triple frame window or 3 concentric squares. So that's the shape that each one of them has. And they would be the color of your energy in each of those aura layers. So you can just run gold light through them as I'm talking, and red earth energy straight from the core of the earth through them. And repair them. You can definitely have invasive beings like sort of woven in through damaged parts of these. So if you have any invasive beings kind of woven in there, you can just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings connected to my good karma windows? And again, just keep repairing. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of this repair? And working this area back here helps focus, helps quality of sleep. You can make a red grounding just for your base of skull area, all the way down to the core of the earth. So how you've worked this area enough, good karma windows? I mean, basically, if you have 60 seconds to work it, then you did it. Good job, right? So there's not like this sort of perfect or nothing requirement. However, if you do have the luxury of a couple minutes and you can do it as thoroughly as we've just done it, then you could just use your intuition and be like, okay, well, is there any invasive energy that's able to get through right now? No. Okay, so that's good. Is there any energy leaking in any one of these good karma windows? Maybe one of them is still leaking a little, so you do a little extra repair on that one. And then are they unblocked enough? So now they're repaired enough, right? So that it's safe. It's just for you, this area. But is it unblocked enough so that you can bring in your good karma energy through here? Your like sort of uplifting energy from the universe through that you can bring in. Are you able to bring it in because it's unblocked enough, right? So then just check, 7th good karma window, can you bring in the good stuff? 6th, can you bring in the good stuff? 5th, can you bring in the good stuff? 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. So it could be yes, 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 no, because one of them's too blocked. So then you just unblock it more so that you can allow the gentle uplifting energy from the universe that you want to bring in. It can come in because it's unblocked enough back here. You want to do any stretching because you're way more present here now and you feel some tension that was there before, but now you feel it. Go for that. Right. All right. Good job. Good job. You celebrate with some butterflies. Let's see, where's the butterfly? Oh, we don't have butterflies here. All right, let's go back for some butterflies. Confetti's good too, of course. Where are my butterflies? There we go. Woohoo! Good job, good job. Hey. All right. So I periodically write stuff down because within about a day and a half there will be video chapters, and there, because I'll make them, and I'll write a healing summary and outline in the comment section, so you can kind of at a glance see what we did. And that's true for any live stream in the last few years. It should have video chapters and a healing outline in the comment section. Okay, so I have been thinking about this as I was preparing for the healing, but I didn't announce it in advance, in the explaining part before the healing started. So that's why I'm calling it a surprise edition. Surprise! But it totally relates to the theme, and it's cool. So, so this is the explaining part, of course. Let's see, where's my little explaining? Okay. Oh, it's up here. Where to go? All right. Yeah, so I have been explaining. Okay. So, hoarding, people know what that is. Like if you hoard something, like hoarders, they have a lot of junk that they have hung on to in their home, to the point sometimes of like everything's filthy, because they're also not cleaning and organizing. So letting go and organizing and cleaning, they're kind of a very similar energy. And sometimes if if you have a section of your counter to clear, some of it needs to be thrown out, some of it needs to be organized and put away, some of it, there needs to be a cleaning done. So it's all like one sort of a vibe. And I was noticing as I was, so, you don't have to be a hoarder to have an issue with this sort of, inability to organize and clean and let go as much as you would like. And organizing and cleaning and letting go can be a real catalyst to deeper, more profound changes. So it's a big deal in a cool way. So what I noticed, so I'm going to put cleaning up there too, so just so it's really, really clear. So letting go, clean, and organize, because a lot of people don't realize that, oh, cleaning is an energy thing. That's good. Oh, that's interesting. It's a frequent, like, if a healing is good in a certain way, like, people will start cleaning up stuff. I think after the last healing in the last set, both my husband and I like went on these cleaning kicks the next day, which is really funny because that doesn't usually happen. I mean, he might go on a cleaning kick more often than I do, but we don't go on cleaning kicks on the same day usually. Like, that was clearly from the healing. That was pretty funny. But anyway, but what I noticed when I was, because somebody put in their survey about that, I heal family members of theirs very regularly, and some of their family members have real issues with hoarding. Like, more than just the normal, like, oh, that counter's messy, that closet's messy, but like on a much larger scale. And which, there's no shame in that. That's pretty common actually, to have issues with hoarding. And but it's because they put it in their survey, and when I go through surveys, I'm like in that headspace of reading things and understanding things and planning for the next healing. Then, that's what inspires me to, put it in this healing, is that they put that in their survey. So anyway, so thanks for that. But I noticed that if you're unable to let go of certain emotions, it can often correlate to an inability to let go, organize, and clean, like on a physical plane. So like, say, and for, it can be like, okay, there's some repressed anger that you're having trouble clearing, and so therefore you're keeping all these objects, or not cleaning this certain area of your home, or not, putting away your laundry or something, and it's really actually pent up anger that you haven't cleared. And that's why it's like always seems like, reinventing the wheel to like fold your damn laundry, or whatever, so but it doesn't have to be anger. It could be, sadness that you're not letting go of, grief you're not letting go of, fears you're not letting go of. But it tends to be something like an emotion, some type of emotion or fear that you're not letting go of. And so it becomes, it's like, in order to clean and organize and let go, maybe throw out some things, you have to get rid of some of that emotional stuff that you've been hoarding, there's some of the emotional stuff that you haven't let go of, which could be totally subconscious and you don't know it's there, because it's like covered up with denial, but so what we're going to do is we're going to clear the baggage that, that matches, what's in the way of you letting go, cleaning, and organizing, that emotional stuff that is healthy and gentle to let go of right now, because there is stuff you're truly not ready to deal with, and it would be too much right now. So obviously we're not touching that. We're just, but typically for people, there's a lot that would only help if they were to let go of it today, but they're still not doing it. So that's what we're aiming for, that stuff. So I hope that makes sense. All right. So let's do it. And it's much easier to do than it was to explain. So don't worry. Easy peasy. Cakewalk. Okay. So this is the doing part. We're going to clear any emotional and fear baggage that is healthy and gentle to let go of right now, to clear right now, so that you can also let go and clean and organize on a physical level, which could be in like organizing too, can be like doing your taxes. You know, there's a lot of mental organizing and literal organizing that's involved in doing taxes. So doing taxes is, there is a lot of like a mental level with taxes. So it doesn't have to be only physical cleaning and organizing. It's just like, it's just a vibe of like, you know, getting your house in order type idea, you know? Um, so we're going to look for any baggage. So anyway, just make a big gold blanket out in front of you and put onto it copies of any internal baggage that you have. And don't worry that you're finding too much, because we'll have the angels double check. So it won't be too much. So just pile, you know, from within you, just put onto the blanket any inner yuckiness, any inner baggage that you have that you've had trouble letting go of, and it's holding you back in other ways, like mentally and physically, with, you know, letting go, cleaning, organizing, exercising, doing taxes, all that kind of stuff, you know? So put all that baggage out in front of you, copies of all that baggage out in front of you. So fill that blanket up, right? And then just say, angels, can you double check this pile and make sure it's not too much? You know, make sure it's just healthy and gentle to clear right now. And just take a deep breath and let your angels edit your files for you. Okay, so your angels check the pile. They're pretty fast and efficient. And then just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive energies that are hooked into this baggage? That way clearing it won't be so dramatic if they just recycle invasive energies first for you. Deep breath while your angels do that. So then it's just a bunch of baggage and some cords to people probably from the baggage. So just bring up red earth energy, soak all the baggage, and use gold light from your hands to melt cords coming off from the baggage, going to you, going to other people, melt all those cords. And then use so much gold light and saturate all this baggage with gold light so that it all starts to melt. And at this point, if you did want to just blow it all up, that's fine too. But maybe you prefer just using so much gold light until it melts fully. Deep breath. We're going to do that again. But first, maybe, you know, double check your grounding. You know, you can imagine your grounding out in front of you. Use gold light, unblock your grounding. Make sure it's still nice and wide and flowing. Okay, so one more time. Big gold blanket out in front of you. Pile onto it copies of any inner baggage that you have. It could be baggage from a past life. It could be baggage that got dumped into your space 5 minutes ago. But whatever's in your space that blocks you from cleaning, organizing, giving away stuff, mentally organizing, like doing projects like taxes, or, you know, making decisions. That's a form of mental organizing. So just any baggage that's in the way of that, some stored fear, some stored emotions that you've just been having trouble clearing, pile it all out. And then just say, angels, can you check and double check this pile? Make sure it's healthy and gentle to clear right now. And just deep breath while your angels check your pile. And then the second request to your angels is, angels, can you please recycle any invasive energies that are hooked into this junk? All right, deep breath while your angels do that. And you may even have some agreements with people that have been blocking you from clearing all this stuff, some unhealthy agreements, right? So just imagine those unhealthy agreements, if you have any, in the way of you clearing all this stuff for good. Just imagine the unhealthy agreements like pieces of paper, and then just use lots of gold light and melt away your unhealthy agreements that are healthy and gentle to clear right now. And then you can go ahead and melt your piles. Gold light. Melt cords from people going into the baggage. Melt the baggage. And we can do extra grief, because sometimes grief is extra stubborn, and it can absolutely relate to all this stuff. So why is grief extra stubborn? I think part of it's because grief is often a communal thing. And so if someone passes, like even a pet or, a person that passes, many people knew them. Many people know that your loved one passed. And so it can get very courty from people that are trying to help you, people that feel sad like you feel sad. And so they're courting you. And so it can get really messy. And so that way it doesn't fully clear. And then, a lifetime passes and you still have that grief that you didn't finish clearing. So let's just do any grief that fits this requirement of being in the way and healthy and gentle to clear right now, right? So make a big gold blanket out in front of you, pile onto it any stored grief that you have that could be in the way of you living your life to the fullest, moving forward, cleaning, organizing, giving away, whatever, right? Throwing stuff out. So just put all that stored grief out in front of you and say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Deep breath while your angels sort through and edit your piles if needed. And then angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that could be corded into this junk? Deep breath. All right, so then it's just a bunch of baggage, probably with cords from people. So bring up red earth energy straight up from the core of the earth. Soak all this baggage with red earth energy and use gold light from your hands to melt away cords from other people and from yourself going into the baggage. So melt the cords, drain everybody's energy out of the baggage. As I said, grief can be very communal. It can be very triggering for observers as well. So just wash everybody out of the grief so that you're clearing it doesn't really disturb other people. It's just something you're doing for yourself. So just melt away the baggage fully with gold light. And if you have any leftovers that haven't fully cleared, just wrap them up in gold light and hand them to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me clear the rest of this? Okay, so now we're going to do another cool thing related to it where we're just going to nourish because we just did a lot of good clearing. And so now we'll just nourish with energy healing flowers. If you don't like the image of flowers, make it into a present of some sort, some other image that you enjoy. So you can move your hands when you do it, which I do enjoy, or you can just create it with your thought and you don't have to move your hands. But use universal healing energy, make it gold light and or any rainbow colors you want, and just make a whole bunch of energy healing flowers for yourself and use gold light from your hands to tune them to just the right vibration to nourish you and support you. Since you just did all that clearing, you want these flowers to be able to nourish you, help you to let go, clean, organize, both physically and mentally, make decisions, all that good stuff, right? So tune the flowers and then also say, angels, can you check my flowers? Your angels will tune them up for you too. And then you can just give them to yourself. We'll do that a few more times, much more quickly. So make energy healing flowers for yourself or presents. Make them as many as you want. tune them to just the right vibration to help nourish you and strengthen you, help you to be ready to let go, clean, organize, make decisions, take action. Tune them up and then say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. All right, one more time. Make energy healing flowers for yourself. Tune them to just the right vibration to nourish and strengthen yourself, to uplift yourself, to help you de-stress, help you let go, clean, organize, take action, make decisions, help you feel refreshed. Right? Angels, can you check my flowers? And give them to yourself. Breath. Redo your grounding. Make your groundings nice and wide as all your auras. Make them wide all the way down to the core of the earth. Test which colors are good for you. Red grounding, orange grounding, yellow grounding, whichever. Keep whichever color helps you release the most and helps you receive the most earth energy from the core of the earth. And unblock your grounding. Use a copy out in front of you of your groundings with gold light from your hands and melt away the blocks in your groundings. Wash everybody out of your groundings. Use gold light around the outer perimeter of your groundings to melt away connections to other people so your grounding is only for you. Deep breaths. Breathe into all your major joints. Shoulders, your hips, legs. All right, good job. Woohoo! Good job, good job. Woo! All right. So let's see. Let's do a little change of scenery. Would like. Okay. Okay, so I did explain this at length before the healing started. So now we're just gonna do we're gonna clear baggage in the way of clear baggage that kind of puts to sleep the part of you that would naturally be ready and able to take action, guide your ship forward. So we'll just do blanket exercise, or you don't have to use a blanket if you don't want. But if you do, then just make a big old blanket out in front of you and pile onto it copies of any inner baggage that's causing these take action parts of you to just tune out or give up. So I'm just going to call it your give up baggage. Put all your give up baggage out in front of you, and bring up red earth energy. Soak all your give up baggage. Angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Angels, can you recycle any invasive energies that are hooked into this stuff? Deep breath. So then lots of gold light, melt cords from people going into all this baggage. All your baggage that causes that take charge part of you to opt out, to not show up for work. Just melt all that baggage, melt your give up baggage. Maybe it's yours from a past life. Maybe it's yours from, a decade ago. Maybe it's just got dumped in your space from your delightful sibling. Or your jealous neighbor. So deep breath. Let's do that again. Big old blanket out in front of you if you want, or if you prefer like a big old dumpster, or just nothing at all, and just pile either onto the blanket or into the dumpster, or just out in front of you. Make piles of anything that is causing this take charge part of you to quit work. Anything causing these take action, ship directing, yes I can parts of you to clock out and give up. Then put all that give up baggage out in front of you and say, angels, can you recycle any invasive energies hooked into this stuff? Deep breath. Angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? So then now it's all been checked, so you can do it. So just bring up red earth energy, soak it all in red earth energy, use gold light, melt away cords from people going into all this stuff. Okay, if you melt everybody out, then you're not really going to disturb anybody. You're much less likely to disturb anybody as you clear all this, which is good. That'll give you less backlash from other people. Melt everybody's cords out, melt everybody out of it, right? And then just lots of gold light and melt all your give up baggage. All right, good job, good job. So you can do that. Growth is incremental, right? So just think to yourself, do you have more of that to work on in the future? And so you can either do this exercise consciously over time, more and more, or if you are nervous that you don't have the discipline to do that consciously, you can ask your angels right now, angels, can you help me work on this more if I need it? So that way, maybe just subconsciously when you're awake or when you're in your sleep, you'll be working on it with your angels more as much as you need. There's, like, I'm going to let my angels help me more with this if I need it. All right, good job. Woohoo. Okay. So I explained this also at length. So there'll be when I get around to making video chapters sometime tomorrow, there'll be its own chapter, talking about the explaining part of this before the healing started. But basically, we're going to work 7th chakra in the top of the head, 6th chakra behind the forehead, 5th chakra in the throat, and those chakra rivers and the aura layers 7, 6, and 5 of your astral body and your physical body auras in order to help you move forward. Moving forward, with your productivity, your time management, your focus, your self-discipline. And 7, 6, and 5, because you can move forward with your faith or intention, which I already explained at length, but anyway, intention. Moving forward with intention. And then intention would be vision. Intention and faith is 7th. 6th is vision. 5th is hearing angels, also inner peace and communication with others, blah, blah. Okay. So, but all those things, faith and intention, vision and hearing angels, any of the above, really, conscious or subconscious, can help you move forward, right? So let's work that. Let's do it. All right. So I already explained the position and the shape of all the chakras and the rivers. So if you need that review, just listen to the explaining section before the healing. So I'll just say what I'm doing as I do it. So 7th chakra and 7th chakra rivers. Lower 7th chakra river is so long because it goes from the bottom of the 7th layer all the way through the body, all the way into the bottom of the 7th chakra. So blocking that is pretty helpful, because otherwise you're kind of overworking your 7th chakra as it has to like suck the energy all the way up. So river, lower one, and then the upper one. You can look for, any blocks that mess with your ability to have faith in yourself, the ability to have faith that progress is possible for you. Melt those blocks out of the way, because your 7th chakra is supposed to generate faith, confidence, intention, all that good stuff. And part of it is, you can kind of feed it yourself, like saying, I'm going to do this, I am doing this, this is happening. But, part of it is just, if it unblocks, it just is naturally there. That sense of faith, that sense of intention. So if there's any faith smushing blocks that you have, definitely get those that are healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. Seventh, just right above the 7th chakra, right around here. Get there to unblock. Sixth chakra, vision. If you can see your way forward, even just in that sort of metaphorical subconscious way, that's fine. Sometimes, you might have blocks here or here, anywhere along here, that could create like a feeling of tightness here. Also, tightness can be from actual damage to the chakra, but sometimes it's just that the chakra is overworking, trying to suck the energy in this way, because there's just these big blocks right along here. So just imagine your front 6th chakra river and, see if there's any giant blocks right there, and just melt them away with gold light. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into these blocks, can you recycle them? Melt away the people. Again, I'm working the front 6th chakra river. Front of the 6th layer. Front of the 6th layer, that's where your clairvoyant screen is, where you can see energy if you close your eyes. And again, don't freak out. It's very common that it just, you don't see jack for a while. I didn't see anything when I started meditating. But, you know, if you unblock here more and more, and you unblock your whole 6th layer more and more, and your 6th chakra more and more, then, you know, eventually you can see enough. I mean, you don't really have to see that well to be able to, you know, like be like, oh yeah, there's a block right there. You know, it's just, you can see a blob. You can see an absent, you know, you can see a difference. Like, oh, something's different there. That's enough. That's a lot of useful information. So front of 6th layer, blocks to your clairvoyant screen. So it's like a big movie screen, right? I always get excited when a movie has like some kind of a clear dry erase board or a clear, you know, like digital, you know, they'll have CGI that shows some kind of clear digital screen that they're writing on or seeing things on, because that's very psychic, you know, because like right here is your clairvoyant screen and it's, you know, it's clear and, you know, you can see form on it. So you can just imagine, you know, in profile, you know, where your clairvoyant screen would be and just keep on blocking right there. If you do it this way, you're not going to turn on your vision too much. You know, that's the thing. If you're doing the work and it's organic and your angels are helping you, then you don't get that whole like drastic, like, oh my God, now I see so much. I'm so overwhelmed and freaked out. It doesn't happen like that, which is good. So unlock your clairvoyant screen area. And then it could be that you have some invasive energies, like little stupid beings that now are in the back of your 6th layer because you're working the front. So if you have any that move to the back, just be like, angels, can you recycle all these invasive energies right here? Because you don't want to play whack-a-mole, like you're working this area, so they move over there, and then you work that area, they move over here. Right? Just get them recycled. Oh, angels, can you recycle any invasive energies that are messing with my 7th, 6th, and 5th chakras and 7th, 6th, and 5th layers, 7th, 6th, and 5th rivers. As well as the other chakras. There's another. Unblocking again, front of like the clairvoyant screen area, front of the 6th layer. Astral and physical body auras. Take some deep breaths. Okay, 5th chakra. Communication with others, hearing angels, inner voice, inner peace. Unblock, repair, heal 5th chakras. Fifth rivers, 5th chakra rivers, the one in front and then the one in the back. Back, going to the layer, all the way around you, of course. So the back 5th chakra river is kind of interesting, you know, in the back of the 5th layer, kind of like, you know, maybe there's some sort of passive aggressive messages that somebody shoved back there, or maybe your energy that you suppressed about like some old argument that you're like, I don't want to think about it anymore, but you're so resistant you didn't actually clear the baggage from the argument, you just shoved it back there. So the back of your 5th layer, go ahead and clear out all the old arguments, melt them for good, don't just, you know, shove them deeper down. The back of your 5th layer, melt away for good, the old arguments, melt away for good, you know, insults from other people. Sometimes, you know, you get into like a mental loop, which blocks you from making a decision or a choice. So there could be baggage in your fifth layers that puts you in that kind of a mental loop that blocks you from making a decision or a choice. You can just put out in front of you all the baggage in any of your chakras anywhere that's blocking you from making decisions and thinking a problem through, finding a solution. So melt away that baggage, the mental loop kind of baggage. Again, put out in front of you any baggage that maybe in your fifth chakra rivers, fifth layers, or elsewhere, in the way of you having clarity, making decisions, finding solutions, making a choice. Sometimes you call that like a brain freeze. You have a brain freeze. So any brain freeze baggage, go ahead and melt that away. We'll do more fifth chakra river stuff in back, right in the back of your neck. You have to, like the GV meridian goes right through that area. So sometimes it feels like it's a fifth chakra issue back there, but it's really just your GV meridian. Your governing vessel meridian is kind of banged up still back there from old damage. So that's the midline one that goes up the back. And then, of course, you have the yellow line there. That's the urinary bladder meridian. So you could just double check the urinary bladder meridian and the governing vessel meridians just really quickly and make red and flowy. If they're not, just use extra gold light to repair them. You don't have to know the names of the meridians to heal them. Just use gold light until they become red and flowy and unblocked. You can say, angels, if there's any invasive beings in the way of this repair work, can you recycle them? That's nice. All right, so this is about moving forward, right? So fifth layer, maybe you have some baggage around moving forward, like you can't hear your angels telling a solution to you about moving forward. So any fifth chakra sort of mental blocks that you have, blocking angel message or your inner wisdom about moving forward. So any mental blocks, you can just melt them as you're combing through your fifth layer of your physical body aura and your fifth layer of your astral body aura. Melt your mental blocks that are in the way of you finding solutions, making decisions, and moving forward, organizing, doing taxes. And so then we'll just, we can just align your chakras, your major chakras, because we worked a lot on 7, 6, and 5. So we want to kind of upgrade 4, 3, 2, 1 a little too, so they don't feel left out. So just a little quick job on 4, 3, 2, 1. Chakras 4, 3, 2, 1. Where they're aligned with 7, 6, and 5. Use cold light until they pop into place. Want them all to work together and cooperate. Full deep breaths. Right. Okay, so we'll see. There might be a third part to this wrap up. But first let's clear rad blocks and clear STEBs. We could do them all at once for kicks, I guess. So you can use a blanket out in front of you, nice gold blanket, or just make piles without the blanket. But put piles of baggage out in front. Put copies of baggage out in front of you. Anything that's triggered right now, anything that kind of confuses you, or any project that's just, bugging you, or anything I said that's bugging you, whatever, anything that's triggered. And some maybe triggered about politics, current events in the world, whatever, finances. And also anything you've been avoiding, you're in denial about, you're in resistance of, just pile it all in front of you, even if it's like, this giant room full of junk out in front of you, right? And then say, angels, can you check all this? Make sure it's healthy and gentle to clear right now. Deep breath while your angels sort through it for you. And then angels, can you recycle any invasive energies that are hooked into this junk? So then it's just a bunch of baggage, maybe with cords from people, and you can deal with that. That's easy. So just bring up red earth energy and soak the piles in red earth energy, and use gold light from your hands to melt away cords from yourself going into the piles and from other people. So melt all the cords, and then wash out with gold light, wash out your energy from the pile, wash everybody else's energy out of the pile. And then at that point, if you're healing yourself, you could just blow everything up, or you can just keep using gold light so that it all fully melts. And if any is left over, just wrap it up in gold light and say, angels, can you help me with this? So we'll do that one more time. Deep breath. A big gold blanket out in front of you. Pile onto it copies of any internal baggage, anything that people have dumped in your space that's just bugging you on some level, any level. And anything you're resisting, anything you're avoiding, anything you're in denial about, but it's getting to be in your way. Pile all that out in front of you. Say, angels, can you check my piles? Is all this healthy and gentle to clear right now? Deep breath while your angels check. And then, angels, can you please recycle any invasive energies that are hooked into this junk? Breath while your angels do that for you. All right, so then now just red earth energy, soak the piles, gold light from your hands, use that to melt away cords going into the piles of baggage from you and from other people. Melt all those cords, and then just soak the pile in gold light and melt away everybody's energy out, melt your energy out, and melt the piles, melt all the baggage, or blow it up. And if there's anything left over, just wrap it up in gold light. Say, angels, can you help me with this? Okay, so chaos boundary wall is a nice exercise and very simple, very non-technical. So it's not like you don't have to understand different meridians and different chakras and yada, 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 right? You just understand that there's you and then there's everybody else outside of you, and you want to have a healthy boundary, right? And I call it a chaos boundary wall but you don't have to think of it as external chaos. But sometimes if you are overwhelmed, there's this sense of like, okay, the external world has a lot of chaos and it's coming in right now. I don't like that, right? So it's just this gold flowy, just imagine yourself and this gold flowy wall, and it flows. So it's not like hard, right? And it flows and it represents all your boundaries. So the boundaries of your auras, your chakras, your everything, right? And so that gold flowy wall represents all your boundaries, right? It's your chaos boundary wall. And you want to see, is it okay? And if not, just heal it. Heal your chaos boundary wall. See if there's any gaping holes in it. And if so, use a lot of gold light and repair the holes in your chaos boundary wall. Maybe it's too thin somewhere, so you just use lots of gold light and strengthen it. You can say too, angels, if there's any invasive energies messing with my chaos boundaries, can you please recycle them? And again, look for any gaping holes in your chaos boundary walls and use so much gold light that you repair it. Find another one, a hole in your chaos boundary wall. Use so much gold light that you repair it. You can say, angels, if there's any invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you recycle them? And if there are any invasive beings that kind of moved out temporarily while you did that, just notice the whole lineup of them and say, angels, can you recycle all those invasive beings? Right? Because you don't want to have to deal with them coming back later. Right? And if you have any being tunnels that are just facilitating invasive energy coming into your space, just say, angels, can you recycle any beings that came through, any invasive beings that came through tunnels? And can you recycle the tunnels and seal it all up? That way you don't have to think of where are the tunnels, blah, blah, blah. Just, angels, can you do that? Recycle any invasive beings that came through tunnels into my space, recycle the tunnels and seal it all up. Deep breath while your angels do that. All right, double check your groundings. Make sure they're nice and big and wide as all your auras, wide all the way down to the core of the earth. And you can double check which color helps you release the most right now. Red groundings, orange groundings, or yellow groundings. And go with whichever helps you the most, whichever color of grounding helps you the most right now. And use gold light to unblock your groundings. Felt cords going into your groundings from other people with gold light from your hands. All right. Double check that your chakras are aligned. Your major chakras along your spine. The angels, can you help me wrap up this healing? Deep breath. Angels, can you help me with my self-discipline? Angels, can you help me with my focus? Deep breath. Angels, can you help me with my time management? Angels, can you help me with my productivity? Deep breath. Oops. All right, that's a healing. You're amazing. Woo, 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 woo. Good job, good job, good job. Okay, so the healing part of the live stream is done. I'm going to take a quick restroom break. You can too, of course. And then I'll turn the camera back on and do a moment of stretching. If you want to do stretching, of course, maybe that will encourage you to do some too. Don't feel like you have to copy me though. I'm just doing whatever stretching I feel like, and you can do what you feel like doing. But obviously try to be mindful and gentle with yourself when you do your stretching. And then we'll do a little post-healing chit chat. You can comment in the chat about how the healing was for you. And I'll read through your comments during the chat time. If you have any follow-up questions about any of what I talked about or about any aspect of our theme for this healing, which would be self-discipline, focus, time management, and productivity. So there you go. I'm going to take a break and I will get rid of the camera while I'm gone. Hey, I'm back. So I'll do a minute of stretching and then we'll do the little chit chat, post healing chat. All righty. Hello, hello. Welcome back from the break. Hope you had a good break. I did too. Let's get a little bit more fun backdrop here. How about what's fun? What's fun? How about this one? We haven't done this one in a long time. A lava lamp. Lava lamp. I hope it doesn't mess with my sound or anything. This one. If the sound starts getting weird, let me know. But I'm hoping it doesn't. Hello, hello. All right, let's see. All right. Lava lamp funkiness. Let's do it. All right. So I'm looking for comments that I haven't read yet. And if there end up being too many, you'll just have to repost them in the comment section, and I'll get to them later and post a reply, but maybe I can get through them now. We'll see. Thanks for the cute emojis. Somebody says, hello, Janet and everyone from 75 degrees and sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. So that's 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really nice. A little too toasty for gardening for me, but that would be kind of cool though. But yeah, in April 1st. Thanks for the pretty emojis. I love your smile, Janet. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Someone says, hey, it got that bad for the Egyptian pantheon, setting up another fake multiverse. LOL. Woo, you're talking about some big concepts here. It could just be me trying to curb my enthusiasm for the new definitions of disclosure to move out of the psych ward, so to say. Adolescent energy hasn't read much better. I had tried not to judge. I don't understand your comment. I'm happy that you're here, but yeah, I don't understand what you're saying. Sorry about that. I don't know if you like the healing, you don't like the healing, or what. But you are welcome to watch. But yeah, try to talk to me like I'm 3 years old. Maybe then I'll understand your comment. But anyway, thanks for the comments. Wish I understood them. Someone says, yes, taxes. Yes, help with taxes. Woohoo! Let's do it. Let's do it. We can do it. Yes, we can. Someone says, I've been in this depressive state of mind where it feels like I just have been surviving. Clearing, giving up baggage was the one I resonated with more. I asked my angels to help me take angel classes on this. I think it's also a boundary issue where I'm letting myself be a dump yard, which may be why I've been so lost on what exactly I need to do. When I look at my path, I see my subconscious self trying to push my body forward. Yeah, I you did fill out a survey. Thank you very much for your post-healing survey from last healing, last month. And so I did get a chance to look because I read your survey, and when I read surveys, I'm reading energy and stuff. So it was interesting, how somebody said like you're being a child. That's actually, it may have sounded insulting at the time, and maybe that person even meant it in an insulting way. But, there is some truth to that I think you have like some inner child parts of you that are kind of like opting out, and being like, nope. I'm here, but I'm not here. You can't make me be here. So I think trying to center myself in the frame. It's kind of annoying. There we go. Oh my gosh, I feel so much better. But anyway, so I think that take the insult out of the way the comment was delivered and just think of like the wisdom behind that, which is like, okay, yeah, I must have some inner child parts of me that are protesting the adult parts of me, and therefore I'm not getting anywhere because I'm processing myself. So that's kind of what it looks like. So I would just say inner child healing could be really great. There's an inner child healing video in the short video playlist that is featured on my YouTube channel page. For those that don't know, if you go to my YouTube channel page for, JW Healing, and then you look down just a little bit, it says shorter videos, and there's a whole playlist of them. And in that, there is an inner child healing one. But I think if you can heal the inner child parts of you that are, stuck like doing repetitive tasks that you don't really want to spend so much time on, that other people are calling childish, Just heal those parts of you, because those parts of you, it's kind of like you're stuck in this sort of judgment game with the different parts of you. Like, well, you're a bitch. Well, you're an asshole. Well, you're a loser. Well, you're lazy. Well, it's not getting you anywhere. It's just making you feel crappy. So, maybe heal the warring parts of you. Imagine the parts of you that want to get stuff done, that are kind of judging the other parts of you, and the other parts of you that don't want to do anything, and just work on healing both those parts so that you can be on the same team again. So I hope that helps. Is it invasive energy? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, maybe a little, but I don't think that's exactly what's motivating it. I think a lot of times in your life, you have things that you're not coming to terms with, and you just do just enough to get through and be functional. So this is kind of just, it's like a bill that just came due, like you gotta work on this like little inner battle that you have going on, so that you can get to even greater levels of functioning and even greater levels of feeling okay, and feeling okay with who you are, feeling okay with your life, feeling okay with bring, you know what I mean? Like, it's like in order to move from feeling good enough to feeling really okay, that's why this stuff is coming up. It's not new problems. It's just you're more aware of it. You're not as able to ignore it anymore, which is good. If the denial is too strong, you're just like, I'm fine. Everyone else is a jerk. So I hope that helps. Just heal little parts. Heal mini yous. The part of you that wants to do one thing, the part of you that wants to do the other thing, and that they both start feeling better, and you can be one ship as opposed to two different boats that are tugging each other in different directions. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, try not to be so judgy about yourself. Just observe, and be like, that's not very productive. Okay, well, what should I do now? Like just take a step back from the rock throwing at different parts of yourself. It doesn't mean you have to ignore what's going on, but it, just remind yourself, okay, I'm a healer. I know how to do this. I can heal these parts. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, someone says, thank you, Janet. Feeling very motivated in an easy way. Usually it takes a lot to get me up and moving. Well, that's great. I've noticed that for a bit towards the end of my day, I will feel intensely sad and grumpy. Sometimes. My read is that, and I will go back to that other comment. Sometimes my read is that I need to be better about grounding, unblocking at the end of the workday around 5 p.m. No, I think it's around 3 p.m. But it also seems like my mom and sister too. Am I reading that right? Thank you. Yeah, there's like a lot of times in a workplace, for some reason, like people, lunch helps people a lot, but then like it only helps people for like about 2 hours, and then they're like, I'm still at work. I want to be done, but I can't leave yet. That would look weird, And so people get resistant and avoidant and ungrounded. And so it becomes harder to stay grounded and centered and non-resistant in that environment. Which isn't to say if magically whoosh tomorrow you were self-employed working from home, you wouldn't have that issue too. It's just, it's a common time when people are kind of needing to, do something, maybe stretch, maybe, go for a walk, maybe just, do some quick gold sandstorm, GVCV work, something to kind of, splash cold water spiritually on your body, mind, and spirit, to kind of be like, okay, whew, I'm still here. Let me unblock my grounding. Let me still be here. you know? Because it's like you and other people are like sort of mentally going home already at 3 o'clock, but you're not, and so it's like a messy thing. And so then later you end up feeling all grumpy, but the sort of tuning out and blocking up started about 3 hours before you're actually feeling crappy. Hope that makes sense. So yes, you need to do some grounding or whatever, whatever it takes, imagine your favorite song, do some chair dancing, whatever, crank up some Kundalini or something, whatever. But yeah, it's just blocked up grounding and some boundary issues with people in your workplace. Nothing you can't handle though. All right, so backtracking to, I think, you know what? I want to make sure I'm seeing all comments. YouTube. They don't show me all comments. They show top chat. It's ridiculous. I missed some. I totally missed some, I think. Let me see. Okay, here's one I missed. Did Marilyn Booth... Oh, sorry. I try not to read people's names because it's nobody's business. You can just put initials. Oh, don't put people's full name because I'll accidentally read it. Okay. Did your mom like clearing grief section of this healing the best? No, it was her top 2, but not her favorite. She liked it was within that one. It was the let go so you don't hoard things. So it was all the let go, like the fear, letting go of the fear, letting go of the emotion, and letting go of the grief, all that. And then the nourishing, that was her favorite section, that whole thing. But not just the grief part, the whole exercise. She's going to keep working on that with her angels. She says she's got a lot more to do. So yeah. It was this nice, gentle, triplet first healing to get us moving forward with the theme. I really enjoyed from the twin healing, the Serenity Rivers. I worked 1 or 2 times and I want to work more on it, but I loop a lot with the essentials. I feel like I don't get the chakras or auras, and while I think I can't see, I do the work and I lose time. And I don't work these techniques a lot because I can't sit a lot longer than 1 hour, so end up somewhere, but I ask angels to help me. Yeah, 1 hour should be more than enough. I mean, you could even do like 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes there. If you want to do 1 hour straight, that's fine. But if you're not getting your 5 essentials done in 1 hour, you're being too nitpicky, I would say. Like, that 5 essentials experienced version video that I made that's like 17 minutes long in the short video playlist. If you did that like twice through, because acquaint yourself with the concept of good enough. Nitpicky is not, it can be fun to do detailed work, but it's no longer fun if you wanted to get to other stuff and then you never get to it. How is that fun? If you want to spend, sometimes I'll geek out and spend like 40 minutes on like working around my shoulders and I'm having a blast, So that's fine, but if I really wanted and needed to do something else in half that time, then that wouldn't have been a good way to use my time, So, I mean, I think, yeah, I think somehow you're kind of, something's off about that. Uh, I mean, you grounding. I mean, 5 minutes for you and grounding. I mean, your experience. If you're working longer than 5 minutes on your grounding, like what's going on? You know, you could do 5 minutes for each of the 5 essentials. Tops. Tops. You know, done in 25 minutes. You know, set a timer. Just be like, good enough. Timer went off. Good enough. You know? Yeah, I would say, yeah, don't be such a drag for yourself, you know? Come on. So yeah. Yeah, don't spend an hour on your 5 essentials if that's all you have and you want to get to the other stuff. Oh, that's no fun. Thanks for the butterfly emojis to the other person. All right. Somebody says, Angels, can you help me with my self-discipline? Because I just went back for more barbecue chips after I put a good portion on my plate the first time. These food battles exhaust me. So I guess the question would be, okay, well, who are you battling with? You know? Like, are you battling with other people in your space? Are you battling with invasive beings? Are you battling with like an inner child part of you that thinks that, you know, all your food groups have to do with barbecue chips? I think that latter part, I think you have an inner child part of you that's like, that's on the barbecue chip plan. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I think, yeah, just kind of like what I told a different person earlier on. It's like, imagine the different parts of you that are battling against each other and judging each other and sort of combating each other. You know, more chips. Screw you. I don't want to be a blimp. More chips. Screw you. More chips. You're a jerk. You're an idiot. You're a killjoy. I hate you. You know, like just nip that in the bud. You know, just heal these parts of you so that everybody gets their healings, everybody gets their tricolor earth energy soaks, you know, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings affecting these parts of me? You know, just heal, heal, heal so that, you know, you can make a decision and hopefully be at peace with it. You could even like, if your inner child seems to like 2 portions instead of 1, just make your first portion way smaller and just set aside 2 different portions. And so there's the first one that's smaller than it used to be. And then there's the second portion of like, okay, but this is it. You know, it's like kids that need a bedtime warning, you know, bedtime in 5 minutes. This is really it, you know, rather than bedtime now, you know. So maybe, you know, that could be a nice compromise once you heal these parts of you, that you have 2 portions of your chips and you know, within the totality that's, you know, a reasonable amount for you. And that way you just have one amount and the other amount is on the counter. So you get to walk to the counter and get your extra amount. And you know that this is it, to see if that works. But you probably have to give those healings to those parts of you first for that to work. Sometimes people have quirks. Like I like spoons. I like eating with spoons rather than forks. And I like eating from bowls a lot. So, you know, there could be quirks that you can do for yourself that give you that little heart chakra kitten fun you know, so that it's easier to keep within the healthy guidelines. Maybe play around with it. All right. So it says, and oh, I read that already. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, someone says break time. Yes, it was break time. Someone says, I passed the exam. I was wondering, you didn't email me. Not that you had to, but I was definitely wondering. That's amazing. Congratulations. We'll give you confetti and butterflies all at once. How about that? So let's get the butterflies going. And the confetti. Woohoo! Yay! Congratulations on passing. Woohoo! Yay! What a rock star. Oh my gosh. Woohoo! You're amazing. Oops, wait, that's not the one I wanted to do. Woohoo! Yay! Woohoo! Great job, great job. Woohoo! Oh, that's glorious. Yay. I passed the exam, felt happy, but 2 days later, feel tired and confused on next steps. Well, that's okay. There is a lot to do, including job search, the don't give up work. Yeah, you were one of the sample people for the don't give up. In part because you've made so much progress over the years with your don't give up, but there's still more to do, you know? So you were interesting to read about that whole don't give up situation. You know, the part of you that charges forward and takes the action, you know, is that part of you? Because you can have, like, I think before, like 80% of that part of you was like totally on the give up program. And then over time, you've cleared enough of the baggage so that you had like 2/3 of yourself, or maybe 50% of yourself in the take charge, take action part of you. And so there was still this part of you that was kind of numbing out and giving up. But then there was a significant part of you compared to before that was like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing it, you know? So yeah, but maybe just keep repeating that exercise that we did, just, you know, blanket exercise or whatever. Just imagine the baggage that makes that take action part of you want to give up and want to tune out and want to be overwhelmed, and just, you know, clear it over and over and over and over. To the extent that's healthy and gentle, but, you know. Yeah, the don't give up work plus abundance, clear punishment agreements is key now. Thank you for the healing. Yeah. I don't think you have clear punishment agreements in the way of the whole what's next. It's sort of maybe unblock your 7th to 8th. That would be nice. You know, that connection, for those that don't know. Where is that image? I have it somewhere. Here somewhere. There we go. My glorious drawing. So that bucket looking thing right there is the 7th chakra in the top of the head. And then your 8th chakra is above the top of your aura, nice gold chakra that has your eternal wisdom, lots of calming wisdom, and that can come down as like a nice river of gold light coming into your 7th chakra. And so you just imagine that 7th to 8th connection and repair it and unblock it. There probably is a short video walkthrough of that in the short video playlist if you wanted to look for it. I think there might be, if you need a walkthrough, but you know the program. Just, you know, pop out the hard objects, repair, say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of this repair? And just repair that whole river of gold light from your 7th chakra to your chakra, so you get more of that wisdom. I think part of it is, you know, just remind yourself of baby steps, you know, because I think as you are thinking like, okay, there's a lot to do now, you're triggering like all the baggage that you're going to have to clear to do it all. And you don't want to trigger all of it. Just trigger enough that's healthy and gentle to clear right now. So you can say, angels, can you help me to not be too triggered? And so they'll help give you angel storage for a lot of the baggage that you need to clear, in baby step number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So then you're just working on baby step 1 right now, So angel storage, 7th to 8th chakra repair and unblock, and then angel storage for the stuff that's too much, that's triggered about, the next couple of things you have to get done. Hope that makes sense. And then, clear more, don't give up baggage. But I mean, it's cleared for now because, whatever's healthy gel is already cleared because we did it today. So maybe, in a couple of days you could do it again. Thank you for the healing. You're welcome. Someone says waterfall break. Yes. Someone says congratulations for the passing of the exam. Someone says thank you for explaining why hoarding happens. I had a lot of shame and anger towards my parents because of their extreme hoarding, and still do. This helped mellow it out a bit. Yeah, I mean, parenthood is very demanding, actually. In a way that nobody talks about on a spirit level. Like, no one, I mean, in maybe in some culture they do, but I know in American culture they don't. They're just like, oh, you're a parent, how beautiful. It's the most miraculous time of your life. Don't you want to be a parent? But they don't say that, like, when your kid is 2, it's going to trigger all your unresolved baggage from when you were 2. And then all your unresolved baggage from past life childhoods. So, like, meanwhile, this person's a parent. They have to care for another life. Maybe, of course, people, are like, well, let's have 4 kids. That's better than 2 kids, So they have all these kids at different ages, all this unresolved baggage from when they were 2, from when they were 7, from when they were 8, from when they were 13 is triggered. Right. And they're trying to, okay, I'm a parent, I have to be an authority, and so they have all this baggage around authority and, and discipline. And, it's a freaking mess. And so nobody walks parents through clearing the baggage that your child is triggering in you. Right. And then it's taboo to, like, resent your kids, which you might if you don't clear the baggage that is triggered, and then, there's the whole thing of running a household at the same time, and you can't even run your own life, and then your kids are triggering you. It's just excuse my French, it's a shit show. For many people, not for everybody, but it can be a real shit show. So yeah, it's not a surprise that parents do all sorts of crazy stuff, like become hoarders when they're parents. Because, like, too, your first chakra is sending energy to that kid, and most people's first chakras, they're so blocked, they don't even have enough first chakra, like, good juju for themselves, and here they are like, oh, let's have 4 kids. Yeah, that's a good idea. And so then they have all these, so then they're running like 5 first chakras their own, and then they're 4 kids, So yeah, maybe that helps you to, I don't know, clear. It may help you with clarity on what you observed as you were growing up. Funny from afar, not always funny to live through, right? But the good news is you're all grown up now, so you energy healing techniques, so that's a lot of good news. Someone says, hi Janet, I am going the heal yourself with you live. Yes, that's true. I did not heal you in this set. I have not yet done your sets, but will be soon. Can I please just ask for insight about the chaos boundaries, wax or cords? I feel like I can clear really well, but there's a distracting relationship with a person's name that I don't know what is going on in my energy or his energy. Oh, I see. I thought you were somebody else that didn't get this healing set. You're a different person. Thank goodness you put your name. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, great. Yeah, no, I assume because there's a different client that has a really cryptic, bunch of letters and numbers for their YouTube ID, and so I just see letters and cryptic letters and numbers, and I made an assumption. I'm sorry. So that's great. Thank you that you told me who you are. Alrighty. Um. I mean, when I look at you on your path, like if you imagine your spiritual path like a road that's just for you, it's like it can be an easy way to see, am I moving forward right now or am I not? And then kind of look from there. So if I look at you on your path, you're on your spiritual path, but you're not looking forward, you're like looking to the side. So if you're looking to the side, you're not moving forward. It seems like you have a lot of, you could use some aura repair back here, like top of your auras and left side. So from like hip joint on up on the left side, back left. That there's a lot of your auras are ripped up back here. So that just, it's like so much interference, so it's easy to have boundary problems with somebody when you have that much aura damage. So it could be even someone who's not that invasive, who's only like a little invasive. But if you have that much aura damage, like they could just waltz in and really not mean much by it. So it's hard to tell, like, the intentions and how invasive that person is, because you do have a lot of aura damage right now. So I would say that's number one. What I would suggest is aura repair. So I'm sure there's a short video in my short video playlist on aura repair, but you could just go to like the most recent, because I may not have a chapter in that one. Let me see. What would be a good aura repair thing for you. I don't know if you've done my videos before and aura repair or not, if you're totally new to my stuff. Let me look at the short video playlist if we have a good one for you for aura repair. I thought we did. Let's see. Oh, okay. Good. We do. It's a 5-minute video. That's good. Okay. So I will link this in the chat. It's in the short video playlist. It's one of the earlier videos in the playlist. So, but let me link it in the chat for you. Okay, so 5 minutes aura repair video. And that repairs all the rips at the same time. But then you can use that same technique to repair that, to double check this area back here, because there may be, because we have 17 auras, so it's a lot of auras. They're all in the same place. But so you could, if you repair all your rips at once, that might do it all, or you may have a couple that are still ripped back here. So then you can localize, do the same thing. Gold light, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of this repair, and just keep doing gold light until it like grows back and fills in. But then I think you would be moving forward on your path if you were to repair those rips in your aura back there. Because your creative rings are not so bad. That the flaps are open though, but I think if you get the aura repaired, then a lot might sort of auto fix at that point. So hope that helps. I think it's been ripped like that for a bit. Like if today's April 2nd, like let's see, March. It was starting around March 15th, March 16th, March 17th. So it got worse, like in the second half of March. So it's been that way for a bit, like a good solid 2 weeks or so. So it should feel nice to get that all fixed up. All right. So now I totally lost my place with the comments. Let's see. Someone says oh, okay. So the person that I was just reading with the aura damage, I feel like I can clear really well, but there's a distracting relationship with that person. Yeah. I think you're missing the aura damage. Beyond that, with that person, yeah, I think it's just easy for them to waltz in your space because you have so many rips back there. I think if you repair that, maybe your second layer and your first layer are a little overly compressed. So those are the ones closest to your body all around. Second and first layer relate to second and first chakra. So I think it's a little extra easy for that person and other people to cord you in the front of your first and second chakras because there's so much compression right here. So maybe do some extra unblocking right in front of your tummy area. I do have a video. It's not in the short video playlist, but it's a nice one. You might like it. I think it's called Get Present in Second and First Chakras. Let me find it for you. If you search Janet Wright Get Present 2-1, you'll pull it up. There we go. So that's a 23-minute video. So I don't know if you have the motivation for that, but do the aura repair first. But then after that, if you are motivated to do more, you could do that, or you could just freestyle and unblock in front of your tummy area. But so this is a 23-minute video. So it has a lot of aura unblocking in those layers. All right. So I put that video link in the chat for you. Someone says, hello, Janet, back from break. Hello to you. Good break. Thank you, Janet. Someone says, sound is fine. Oh, that's good. Thank you. Someone says, funkified by the lava lamp. There you go. Exactly. Someone says, yes, enjoyed it. Thanks. Just past life association is all. Sorry. No problem. No problem. Oh, good. I'm glad that you see, keep it simple for me. Then I will, I'm very grateful for your communication. As long as I understand it, I'm happy. So that's great. Good. So I'm glad you enjoyed the healing. That's awesome. Great. Good news. So this is not sure why I had a happy feeling, then a sad feeling when I thought of your mom working more on the briefest section. I think it's from a chord. I hope not. I mean, yeah, I think your grounding just got a little blocked and you got a little heart chakra blockage there. But just reground, maybe do a tricolor soak. Tricolor soaks are nice, like sort of, it's like plunging a sink or something, to get out a clog in the pipes. It's kind of what a tricolor earth energy soak does. I know you know that one. You don't need a walkthrough, but that's a fun one to do. So I'll put a link in the chat for the tricolor earth energy soak. That is not in the short video playlist either, just because it's older. It's from 8 years ago. Wow, how about that? You can see my hair is like all sorts of colors and stuff. Funny. So yeah, the tricolor earth energy soak. So 5-minute try. Yeah. And that one, some people use that one as like, if for people that have kids, some people use that as like their first meditation video that they do with their kid, together with their kid. Just because it's a very simple concept, but it works. Someone says, yes, good enough is essential. Yes, it is an essential concept. You just gotta say, okay, good enough. Next, good enough. Next. Thanks for the emojis. Those are pretty. Someone says, thank you for the confetti celebration. You're welcome. You deserve it. I put a comment under one of your videos after the exam to let you know. Oh, I didn't check comments. Oh, see, people test me. They're like, oh, well, this will test if she checks video comments promptly. That's funny. After the exam to let you know and thank you. Could not have done it without the healings that have helped over time. Well, good for you. You deserve all the credit. That's so awesome. What a rock star. Woo-hoo! Rock star, rock star. Someone says my mom was pregnant for 5 years. I assume different pregnancies. Yeah. I'm glad I wasn't. For those that don't know, I don't have human children. I did have an abortion when I was in my, I think I was 25. It was kind of crazy. This is a quick personal story, I guess. We'll put a little title for it. So, my mother, who I call my birth mother, just as like sort of a distancing thing, because I'm not in communication with them anymore, by choice. But anyway, so my birth mother, she used to tell me that I had to marry, and she was not joking, that I had to marry somebody tall, white, Catholic, and rich. And she said, and then at one point she added to it, and she said, well, you can do whatever you want after you're 25, but you have to do what I say until you're 25. And I don't know when or why she added that part onto it, but that became part of the law that she kept repeating to me. And it was kind of crazy because like right after, and I didn't realize this until hindsight later, you know, but right after I was 25, I got pregnant by the guy that I had been dating, and I got an abortion because he was an alcoholic. And I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to have a child with an alcoholic because my parents are alcoholics, my birth parents. And so I got pregnant, I got an abortion, and I got married to the alcoholic, which of course makes perfect sense, right? But anyway, my logic was not super sound at that age. But anyway, so like all those things happened in quick succession after I was 25. And you know, later it's like I realized that I literally had the agreement to like not do what I wanted until after 25, and then after 25, bam, 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 I did all these huge things. You know, I got pregnant, got an abortion, and got married, and did all this immigration paperwork because he was undocumented. And the immigration stuff was a whole huge thing. But anyway, I don't know why I brought that up about being pregnant, I guess. But then later, you know, my husband and I, my current husband, he is not an alcoholic. He's not an alcoholic. He's a good, stable, good partner. And but we decided not to have children. So I don't have children. I don't have human children. I have pets, you know, very high maintenance pets generally, unfortunately, accidentally. But anyway, there you go for a little aside for what it's worth. All right. Someone says, okay, I feel what you mean about the aura repair. Oh, good. Is there a reason why more on the left side? Thank you. I will use this video, and no wonder I keep sensing every little thing around me. Yeah. Wow. Yes, that compression I definitely feel in the first and second layers you mentioned. How does this happen in the first place to cause it? Okay, so those are two different kind of questions. Why does one get aura damage? Where one gets aura damage? I mean, weak spots in your aura generally, I mean, they can be chronic weak spots, maybe like what makes an aura stronger is flow. So maybe, so you probably had a lot of blocks there, your whole life, more blocks there than here. And so it looks like you have more of a tendency to get damage on this side back here than on this side back here, just because of you have more flow here than here. And so if someone throws energy, a whack is like someone trying to damage your space. And it usually is subconscious, though. I guess in most cultures, people don't actually knowledgeably try to rip you up, which I guess is a good thing, But anyways, but subconsciously, people can have rage or whatever, and they throw energy, and they can sometimes throw hard objects with the energy, but sometimes it's just a blast of energy. And people will generally have different tendencies. So like my birth father, when he wants to, damage my energy, he'll throw hard objects with it. So there'll be like all these little spear things that he throws with the blast. Whereas my birth sister, the older one, if she wants to whack me, it'll just be a big blast. I mean, that's neither here nor there. It's just information for you. Not about my family, but, just in general. Just using them as examples. But anyway, so that's why it was on the left side, not the right side. But don't read too much into it. It's not like, oh, it's because, you're meant to be this way and you're an artist and you're creative. It's just whatever. You had blocks there. Someone whacked enough that it ripped wide open, and that's that. You don't have to interpret it too much. I get damaged sometimes back here, sometimes here, sometimes up there, sometimes, whatever. Part of it is, sometimes people will aim it in a certain location more than somewhere else. And so if they're persistent enough, you get some damage there. And if you don't know how to repair it, you don't realize soon enough, then it just gets worse and worse and worse if they keep going and going and going. So, whatever. Compression in second and first layers is very common because people, when they wake up, they come in through the top of their head, 7, 6, 5, 4, etc. And so a lot of people really aren't present in their lower chakras. Through my kind of work that I'm doing, I'm always trying to help people to be in as many chakras as possible, as many physical body chakras as possible. So ideally, over time, you unblock enough and clear enough past life baggage and whatever dribs and drabs, and you get enough technique and knowledge, and you unblock your legs enough, and you get good at having this big, wide, huge grounding that flows and everything. So then you can be in all your chakras all the time when you're awake, and that's like really helpful. But the average person, maybe is only in 7, 6, and 5, and they're just running on coffee, basically. They're running on coffee and, funny animal videos, so, but anyway, so if somebody is, say, only present in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and they're not often in physical body, second chakra and first chakra, then there's not as much power in those chakras because your spirit, your astral body second isn't in there helping to power it, right? And so it can generate flow, but not as much. And so you'll have more stagnant energy in those aura layers because you have more stagnant energy in those two chakras because you're not there. Your astral second and first are like nearby, but not in. It's like, so it's just how present you are. If you're more present, I mean, like I'll use myself as an example. Obviously I've been doing this a long time in this lifetime. So, I'm present in all 7 of my physical body chakras when I'm awake. it's unusual, pretty unusual if I'm not in every chakra when I'm awake, even if I feel kind of fucked up, excuse my French. I might be pretty bashed up, but I'm still all the way in, but I can still have, more clogs in these inner layers than the outer layers, maybe. But again, you don't have to analyze it too much. You just get used to intuiting where do you have your clogs and work on it, But that's why people tend to have more, the inner layers tend to be more stagnant because they're not fully present. And so there's not as much, because chakras, they're like motors and circulating fans, and they keep the energy flowing in that aura layer. And so if you don't have as much power, it's a weaker fan, it's like a weaker dishwasher. So the dishwasher, it uses water and to scrub away the stuck energy on the plates and silverware, right? And so if you don't have enough water, you don't have enough power, it's kind of a weak dishwasher. And so you're not cleaning things right? So if you're fully present, you have a lot of power. Your chakras are generating energy and it's circulating really well. And so you scrub out all the stuck energy sort of, as you're doing your day. I mean, not perfectly, of course, but that's the concept generally. So hope that makes sense. Someone says, got it. I'll do that video now. Thank you. Good night. Which one? Oh, tricolor soak, probably. Someone says, good night to you. Someone says, yes, 5 kids in 5 years. I don't have kids either at almost 61. Thank you, Janet, for sharing your backstory. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy about not having kids. Like some people, I don't like that. Some people, they assume that, everyone should have kids. I mean, like I'm fine with people having kids, I've had kids in a ton of past lives, but I'm just chose not to in this life. But there are people who are like, very like, oh, you'll regret it later, and like crappy things like that. Like, oh, you'll be all alone. Family's everything. And it's like, keep your bad juju off of me. I'm happy with my choice. So anyway, there's the like child free by choice is a phrase to, But part of why we decided not to have kids is to devote more time to our personal vocations. My husband's an artist and I do this, and so I can help a lot more people's kids and parents, I can help a lot of parents be better parents if I'm not using all my energy being a parent, How it all works out. Someone says, oh, that explanation of the presence in chakras is so helpful. Oh, good. I have totally been using the coffee and animal videos. Can I please ask lastly about the first and second clearing? Would you say it's more past life trauma or something specific? It will help to visualize while I use your presence chakra video. It's a mix of past and present life stuff. So yeah, it's not just one or the other. What you could, I have I don't know if you need it though, but I do have a free 2-page chakra handout. You could email me for that if you want. My email address is janet@jwhealing.com. You don't have to capitalize the JW. I just write it that way. There's no period, so I don't want people to get confused by that. Maybe that's my email address, janet@jwhealing.com. You could email me and ask for the free 2-page chakra handout, which is just like an email attachment, but it sort of writes it out, like what each chakra helps with and the ideal color for it and the basic location of it, in case that helps. But so you could email me and ask for that, and I would email it to you. And say hi while you're at it. But you could say, like what your YouTube ID is and what your first and last name is. Just, just say hi if you want. But first layer and first chakra, which is what the handout says, is for courage, safety, and abundance. So blocks in that would, be repressed fears for people trying to suppress your courage and your abundance and safety. Could be grief, can be in any of the chakras or aura layers too. But yeah, repressed fear a lot of times in the first layer, because courage, when it flows, you get your courage, your feeling of safety in your first layer. And then second layer, second chakra, is emotions, sexuality, sensuality. So blocks there could be, you know, from sexual abuse from a past life or from this life, or just repressed anger, sadness, grief, again, you know, all sorts of fun stuff. No, but you don't really have to know, you know, obviously you just think of it as a lump and melt it away. But the basics is you ask your angels to recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into the baggage, just so you don't get any dramatic experiences while you're clearing, you know. So just angels, can you know, find a lump and then be like, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this? And then use the gold light from your hands to melt away cords from people. And then just melt the blocks. That's the idea. Not everyone should have kids or get married. Yes, I agree. Some people would be shitty parents. And unfortunately, many of those people actually go ahead and are parents. But yeah, some people think that everyone should be parents. It's like, you know, but whatever. Judgy. So that's it, I guess, right? We do a little pet update. So Izzy, our beagle, he's doing okay. He's still on a limited diet, because of his intestines, but it's not like critical anymore. Like he's somewhat stable with that. So that's better than it was. But it's a very gradual process, I guess. Like, you know, whatever. Just what it is. You have to be patient. But you know, he's fine. He hasn't had any seizures, you know, because he's also epileptic. But he's on medication every 8 hours for that, and that's going well. So that's nice. It's just his intestines, but you know, so. But it has been worse in recent weeks, so I'm grateful that he's slowly improving. And our kitten, Felix, you saw him at the start of the live stream. He's adorable as ever. And a little bit of a troublemaker. He likes to chew cords, so we put little cord protectors on many of our cords. And Boo Boo Kitty, our indoor beloved feral cat, is fabulous and adorable. We play this video for her when she's out and about in the evening, in our house, you know, out and about. And it shows these cats, these people petting these happy cats and, like, you know, scratching their chin, and the cats are all loving it and everything. And she watches it like we're trying to, you know, teach her, see, some cats like it when people touch them. You know? No, because that's like a house rule. You're not supposed to touch her. You know, she's like, if you move your hand too close to her too fast, it's like, whoa, you know, or if you actually tried to touch her, it would not end well. So, but we're trying. We're trying to slowly. We still have to get Felix and her to get along, because, like, so far, like, they're not out loose together at the same time. Because Felix, our kitten, is like a giant kitten. He's like the size of like 1.5 adult cats at minimum, and she's a somewhat average sized cat. So, like, and he last time they were both out and about together, you know, he was like, in the past he's chased her a lot and kind of taunted her and cornered her and stuff in a bad way. So we're hoping he grows out of that. We'll see. So that's that. So, garden and pet update, please. Yeah. Let's see, garden update. Garden update. garden updates. So, the basil sprouts that I planted, the basil seeds I planted, indoor. I start the plants before later I plant them out in the garden. And the basil plants are doing well. I mean, they're still little, but I have to pot them all up, which is a bit of work that I haven't done yet. But it's not like urgent yet, so I haven't done it yet. And then the tomato plants are sort of taking their sweet time to germinate. So that's a little bit nerve-wracking. Because it's like a timing thing. You want them to mature at a certain schedule, so they're a certain size by the time they go out there, so that, whatever. So I don't know. We'll see about that. So the tomato seedlings are still needing my attention, and I may start some other seeds to see if, just in case I need them. We'll see. But so that's that. And outdoors, I have been working on clearing away some weeds that grow right up against our house. Because I had been throwing because we have rocky soil, and so as I'm gardening, I don't want these big rocks to stay in where I'm trying to, put a tomato plant or something. And so I have been, for like the last, 8 years that we've been living here, I've been throwing the rocks right up against the house. So there's like all these rocks right up against the house because 8 years of just dumping the rocks there that I find when I'm gardening. But the problem is, like, some places it's like solid rock, so like no weeds grew through. But then other places there wasn't as many. There was a ton of rock, but still there was enough spaces so that all these vines grew through the rocks, and then they started growing into the house, like under the siding. So like my husband in his study has like these vines growing. He's like, "Yeah, we have vines growing in the house." So I'm having to like get rid of all the rocks so that I can get rid of all the vines that are, coming up through the house, and so that's interesting. I have been making progress with that, but I would rather spend it on doing garden bed work. But sometimes it's like in gardening, a lot of it, especially at this time of year, is very unglamorous, and you have to do a project that is less exciting and get that, at least make a certain level of progress on that before you get to the stuff you're really dying to do. So that's how it's been. I've been trying to be disciplined and but anyway. So, but I mean, the good thing is I've been a little bit more motivated to go out there than I still have not great motivation to go out there and get stuff done. But better than couple months ago. And plus the daylight is more now, so like sometimes I won't get motivated till like 5 p.m. and fortunately now we have 2 hours of light at that point, whereas 2 months ago if I got motivated at like 4 p.m. I'd be out of luck because it's dark by 5 p.m. So that's been helping a little bit, that the daylight is longer. But anyway, so for the 3 people that wanted to know about my garden update, there it is. All right, guys, you are so amazing. And someone says, have you grown holy basil for tea? Yes. Well, I tried growing holy basil, but I put it in a part of the backyard that I sort of ignore and I don't water. And so it didn't do very well. But then I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to buy holy basil tea. So it's so easy to buy, and you get this giant bag of like dried tea. So I have holy basil tea. And in fact, I have another bag of it because there's like, I got 2 varieties and turns out one is slightly more medicinal supposedly than the other variety. So like the Krishna variety is more medicinal than the something that starts with an R variety. So I have this big bag of the R variety of holy basil tea, Rama maybe or something. And so I tried to give that away to somebody on our neighborhood page, but nobody wanted it. We don't have holy basil tea appreciators in my neighborhood. I don't know what I'm going to do with that bag of tea. But yeah, so I have this giant bag of holy basil tea. I drink a mix of Actually, that's what I'm drinking right now. It's a blend because holy basil tea is too warming for me, and then lemon balm tea is too cooling for me. So I'm mixing them, and because they're both centering, and I like the mental effects of both of them. So this is a blend of lemon balm and holy basil, Krishna holy basil, Krishna Tulsi, with a little bit of honey and a little bit of milk. Very yummy. Order of importance in gardening. Yes, definitely. Have you grown? Well done on what you are growing, Janet. Oh, thanks. Yeah. And later I have to start the marigolds. I have a lot of marigolds that I'm going to be growing. And what else? The kale, I probably should start some kale, but not yet. Like we have a lot of kale in the yard, but it's mostly kale plants. Some of it is stuff that just sprung up by itself that's new this year. Some of it sprung up by itself last year. Kale is biennial, so it dies after the second year. So, well, it goes to seed and then it's kind of useless for eating. So I don't know how much of the kale that we have a decent amount of kale plants out there right now, but I don't know how many of them will survive the slug onslaught that will be coming in the next month or so. I don't know how many of them are actually second year plants versus first year plants, because first year plants, then they'll be good to eat all year and even into early next year. But second year plants are going to go to seed like probably in the next month. So I don't really know. But once I find that out and it becomes obvious how many are going to seed, then I can start more seed inside for kale and transplant them out. And I'm going to be much better this year with planting, the other stuff with it and around it to protect it, like protector plants that smell really strongly to like hide the kale from the predators and like the deer and stuff. Like I'm going to grow way more basil than we need to eat just to like surround all the kale plants with really smelly basil. Like I'm even planting this extra smelly variety of basil, which I don't remember right now, but if someone needs to know, just put it in the comment section. What's the extra smelly basil variety? Put it. So I'm growing 3 different kinds of basil. 2 of them that I know we like to eat, and then one that's just known to be like the smelliest basil on the planet. And also like blooms a lot, so like the pollinators love it too. So that stinky basil is going to go all around all the kale plants, all around all the tomato plants, protect them. So anyway, holy basil tea is soothing. Yes. Nice tea mix, lemon balm and holy basil. Yes. Yeah, I was so excited about that because I mean, I've always wanted to drink lemon balm, but it's too cooling for me unless it's like a heat wave. So now I get to drink it with holy basil. Okie doke. You guys are amazing. So next healing is on Sunday. April. It's April now. How about that? All right, you guys are so amazing. And if you want to purchase a set of healings for yourself and or loved ones, that is my website, jwhealing.com. Okay. Ah, you're so cool. Let's see. Let's close out with some butterflies. There we go. Butterflies and lava lamp. How about that? Woo. Bye.